Good morning and welcome. I'm Celeste and this is my YouTube channel, Celeste Creates. Welcome for FlossTube number 86. Today is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025, and happy Easter. We just celebrated Easter on Sunday. In Catholic Church, we celebrate Easter for a long time, which I love, and it is such a big deal. I hope you have had a great couple of weeks, and it has been, well, it's been more than a couple. It's been almost 4 weeks, so almost a month since I filmed my last FlossTube, but just been busy and stitching, and I've been a little more monogamous, I guess you would call it that, sort of, lately, and was really working on a project, my downstairs stitching chair, pretty monogamously, and trying to finish it. And you know, when you're not jumping around a lot, there's not always a whole lot to show, but today I have plenty to show you. So you know, when I show up, and it is always a joy to come and film these and spend time with you. I appreciate you coming and spending time with me. Thank you to all of you who come back time and time again. Thank you for subscribing, for liking, for commenting. I love the comments. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you will go back and watch some of the older episodes and find things that you like. And I hope that you will consider subscribing and joining me each time when I come make a video. So I do have some finishes to show you. No FFOs, but I do have some finishes. I have my whips. I have some purchases, both cross stitch and quilting. Can show you my little bit of crochet that I keep working on, and I have some books to share with you today. So I hope you enjoy, and I guess let's get started. Life-wise, we've had a great and busy couple of weeks. Spring break, we've had Easter. Obviously, all of my kids were back home for Easter, so that was a real treat. It's just a really busy time for them anyway, especially with as late as Easter fell this year. It kind of runs itself into final exams for my oldest in law school. They start today, and pretty much my other son, who's at A&M, he said he's got, between now and May 2nd, he's got, you know, 6 both exams and then final exams, so he's going to be super busy. So I was really thankful that they could all make it home and spend that time. It was really great. So we just had a wonderful celebration. We went to the Easter Vigil Mass on Saturday evening. Of course, we did everything on Holy Thursday and Good Friday in the church, and that's always just such a beautiful several days there to really enter into Christ's passion, death, and resurrection in those days. And so, yeah, Easter Vigil was beautiful. It was long. We probably had 25 people that were baptized and another 20 that were confirmed as well. And so we had a lot of people come into the church, and one of those was my oldest son's girlfriend's sister. So that was really special. And we knew several people that were coming into the church this year, and so that's just probably our favorite Mass of the whole year. It's a beautiful Mass. It's very long, but it's just, it's incredible. It's just an incredible celebration and beginning to Easter, so we really enjoyed that. Then we just had lunch on Sunday, and way too many sweets and fun things like that, but it was just really good. So by early yesterday morning, everybody had left and gone their way to go back to school, and so we're kind of back to me and my husband and the 2 kids that still live here. So doing school this week, and a lot of activities and things are kind of slowing down for me, and that's kind of nice. I'm ready for the break. So anyway, I guess that's mostly it, and I guess we'll get started with some with my finishes. Okay, since I last saw you, I worked mainly on 2 things, and well, I guess I'd say 3. And so I had 3 different finishes. And so I'll kind of go in order here and show you what I finished. And one of them is a bigger finish. And I did abandon one too. I forgot about that when I was opening up here, but I'll share all that with you. So first up is, I know I'd spoken with you last time about, probably the time before that too, about making the different anniversaries of the heart charts into like a little book, a fabric book. I'm not quite sure how that's going to happen yet, but I have a ways to go to decide. I did have a question on my last video asking about ideas about like what I'm thinking about or how I'm going to put the book together. I don't really know yet. I've seen some people construct some fabric books. I have never done one, so anything that I do, which will probably be years from now because I gotta stitch all these charts, will just come from doing some looking around, probably on Instagram and Pinterest and things like that, and seeing if I can figure out how to do one. So I don't really know how I'm gonna do it yet. We'll see if I make it that far. So I may not. So we'll see. But first, anyway, the first one I decided to do, because I knew this one would be for my daughter, was Pink Hill Manor, which is the anniversaries of the heart chart number 4 from Blackbird Designs. So I'm not stitching them in order. I'm not stitching them by month and giving a month. I'm just taking a chart and giving it to a person. And this one is pink, which makes me think of my daughter, my one daughter. And so this one, I knew I wanted it to be for Nicole, and so it is. So yeah, I finished this. I'm stitched this on, got my book here today so I can give you accurate information, on a piece of some sort of scrap. 36 count scrap linen. No idea what it is. But I did use all the called for colors that are called for in the chart, Pink Hill Manor. And here is my finish. Let me get my board real quick. Board and a couple of, makes it better. Didn't always need a board, but with the light behind me, I feel like I really need one now. Okay, so there is my finish of Pink Hill Manor. You can see lovely linen. It's probably a Tropical Stitches linen because I have a lot of Tropical Stitches linen. So yeah, all the called for colors. I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful combination of colors. And so what I did differently, I think if you look, I'll pick it back up. In the original chart, there's like little initials there, and there's some initials here, and then it says Dear Emily here, and that was the, the person that they stitched it for. So I decided not to do that, especially since I'm not framing or stitching them next to each other on a larger piece of linen. I figured I could do what I wanted. So what I did do, as you can see, I may have filled in with a couple doodads if I felt like it needed it, but right here I did do over 1, 2003. I hope that's what it says. Yeah. The year that my daughter was born. And then I found this really cool website on the World Wide Web, and I will link it below, but it had different fonts that you could choose from, and if you typed in your words, it charted your words in that font for you. I was pretty excited to find this and bookmarked it. I will share it below. As you can see, there's this font here, and I did Nicole Marie, and I chose, I don't remember how many fonts there were to choose from, but they had this lovely cursive looking one, and then I put it in and it charted it for me. And so I added her name at the bottom and her birth date, her year of her birthday. So my first one is done. I'm so excited. Looks really pretty. So I will link this website below so that you can go check that out, because I was pretty excited to find that. Okay, so that Brayden is across the way from me doing his algebra and sneezing apparently. So I am really, really happy that I got to finish that. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. Okay, forgive me if I have to make multiple pauses during this video because I do have to help with math. So, okay, my next finish is a big one. I'm super excited. So I finished Pink Hill Sampler the beginning of April. I actually finished that on my husband's birthday. Not that it was for his birthday, but I'm just noticing the date. My second finish a week later, and this one I had been working on for weeks. I actually picked this back up. I showed it to you last time. I even showed you like a comparison of where I was. But I picked up the Smith Sampler back on March 8th. And I pretty much worked on it only downstairs, in my downstairs stitching spot, until I finished it on April 10th. So about a month it took me to make a whole lot of progress and finish this chart. So I'll show you again where I was when I picked it up back in the beginning of March. So that's where I was, and I probably had not stitched on it since 2021. If I had, it was just a few stitches here and there. It wasn't anything amazing. So from the time I picked it up on March 8th till April 10th, I made all that progress and finished it. So it's really exciting. This is the chart I'm talking about. This is Smith Sampler from the Scarlet House. I used a color conversion that I got from I don't know where. So it's really, I don't really want to, I can't share it because it's not mine and I don't know where it came from. So I would feel bad about sharing that. Anyway, other than that, I used, it is all overdyed flosses, and only thing I changed is I didn't do the letters for Smith in the basket there. I just left it blank, so it's just all filled in with the white. But other than that, I didn't make any changes, and I absolutely am in love with it. It is beautiful, and I'm so glad I finished it. This is my second, or was my second oldest whip, and I think this was from June of 2020. So I'm really, really glad that I got this done, and I can't wait to get it framed. I need to get out in the garage before it gets too hot and see if I've got anything out there that will work. And if not, I can do some chopping. But here it is. So she is stitched on 36 count Dusty Road, I think. All right. Yeah, Dusty Road by Seraphim Fabrics. And again, these are all overdyed cotton flosses. I love the colors. The border is unlike any other border I think I've ever seen on a chart. It's so unique and so beautiful. I love this motif here, this beautiful bird on the branch. I love the crazy looking flowers, and it's just so beautiful. But probably my favorite part, I do love that swan up here. My favorite part is the border. It's just beautiful. Oh, look at that. How unique is that? Let's over here so I can give you a look at this side too. So she is done, and I'm thrilled, thrilled, thrilled. This was on my list to work toward finishing this year since it was one of my oldest, and I'm so glad I finished it. And it's going to be beautiful on my wall once I get it framed. So I have quite a bit of framing I need to do, finishing and framing. So that is a Smith Sampler. So I love it. Really, really, really pretty. All right. Okay, so the next thing that I finished, abandoned slash finished. So like I said, this Smith sampler was my second oldest whip, and my oldest whip at that time also was Ann Webb, 1829, I believe. Yeah, it's a Hands Across the Sea sampler, and I chose it very early. I forget exactly, but early in 2020. I loved the bright colors. I loved it when it came out. I can insert a picture here of what the sampler actually looks like. So it's lovely. I love the colors. Really a lot of things to love about it, but I've just noticed over the years that every time I pull it out, I'm just kind of ho-hum. It doesn't do much for me. I'm not excited to work on it, and there's just something about it that's just not working for me. So I think part of it is just the organization of it. I decided I didn't really love the big brown goats on it, and it wasn't exciting to me anymore. So instead of letting it still sit in my whips, I decided I was going to let go of it and change it into something else. So I abandoned finishing the sampler as a whole, but I took the piece that I had already worked on, and I cut it out from the linen and put the rest of the big piece of linen away, and I can use that for something else in the future. And then I decided to make this. This was some inspiration from my friend Katie, So Tattered. She's so talented, and always, I feel like she always just gives me so many ideas for things that I can do. And so this was inspired by Katie and some of the things that she has done. And so I took the piece of the sampler that I had finished. I didn't even finish the goat. And I made a project bag out of it. So Ann Webb the part of Ann Webb that I did will live on in a project bag, but it's not sitting in my whip basket, and it's not kind of hanging over my head. So here's what I did. So this is the bit of Ann Webb that I had finished. There may have been like a little bit more down here, but I let that part go. So you can see here, this is the top of the goat. I didn't even finish filling him in. I just said, we're done. And so I made a little square out of it. And there was still some blank spot over here. So I bordered it with some cute fabric from my stash. No particular line, just something, these are just fabrics I had on my shelf. And then I made some raw edge applique here, a flower with some leaves and an antique button to kind of, put here and fill in the blank space and give it a little interest. And then the back is a different color. I think that's a Lori Holt fabric. And a yellow zipper. I was trying to do some, and there's some Lori Holt chicks inside. I was just scrappy piecing it together, but now I have a lovely project bag that I can use, and I will remember Ann Webb in this way. So that was an abandonment and a finish. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out, and it's one less whip that I wasn't excited about that's not hanging over my head. So time to move on and work on some other things. So the next finish that I had, I started on April 5th, and I guess this took me about a week and a half to work on. I was working on this, I guess, upstairs and downstairs, depending on the time. So once I finished Smith sampler, I worked on this mostly, and another project, but so this is Easter Parade from Blackbird Designs. I don't remember how I obtained this one, but it's a much older chart. Here it's in here, 2005, but it is such an adorable chart. So there's two things to stitch in it, and I did the bunny. Always loved that. Probably got to be one of the prettiest color combinations I have worked with. It was so delightful and springy. I just love it. I don't know if Easter Parade is still available. I'll look around a little bit, and if I find it, I'll link it below. So there's my finish of Easter Parade. I thought I might get it fully finished before Easter, but I just didn't have time, and I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to finish it, so I just decided not to hurry. I can wait, and it'll be here. I'm gonna have my Easter decor up for a little while, so since we're still celebrating Easter and still spring and bunnies and chicks are spring, so there we go. So I just love the colors. I love this. This feels obviously like one of Blackbird's older charts. There's a lot more open work in it, and I really love that. Love the colors. So pretty. That border, let me see. There's a couple colors I had to get that I didn't have. There's cider mill brown in here, but that checkered border I believe was it's Gentle Arts Berry Cobbler. Really pretty. And then those flowers there, the big flowers, the pink part of that was Gentle Arts Antique Rose, so that's really pretty. And then it also used yeah, some greens, some yellows, and just is so lovely. So that's my finish. So I guess 4 finishes in a way. So I love that. So that's Easter Parade with all the called for colors, and this is 36 count Honey Beach Sand by Tropical Stitches. It's really pretty linen. Love it. Perfect for this. Okay. We'll move on to whips. Okay, so I have 2 whips to show you, and they're both wonderful. One was a chart that I thought of buying this when it came out in 2024's market, I believe is when it came out, and I did not buy it. I thought, well, I'll get it some other time. Well, that some other time was recently. So I loved this chart when I saw it, but you know, you're just kind of like, okay, well, let me pick some of the ones I know I want to stitch right away, or that'll still be there. I can wait on that one. And so I waited on this one, but now I am stitching it. So how I got to here was on Instagram. I was looking around and I saw Teresa Kogut was stitching a beautiful all red piece that I think she said will be released in May, and I'm super excited for that because I'll show it to you right here. Let me put the little, this is from her Instagram. Isn't that lovely? What it is the final prayer of the Divine Mercy chaplet. And it's this beautiful border you see, and then the prayer itself, that is the last prayer you say as part of the Divine Mercy chaplet, which I love Divine Mercy, I love the chaplet, I love Saint Faustina, and I love this prayer. This is one of my favorite prayers to have memorized and to say and think about. And so I saw that and I'm like, I'm stitching that. I can't wait. The minute it comes out, I'm ordering it and it's gonna get stitched and it will be framed and it will be on my wall. So then I remembered how much I loved, you know, Teresa has some really pretty faith-based charts, and some are, you know, less Catholic and some are more Catholic. Obviously the Divine Mercy prayer is more Catholic, but a gorgeous prayer. And then I remembered how much I had wanted this one. So this is Teresa Kogut, and it's called Sacred Faith in Stitches series. You can see there that that is the Sacred Heart, her rendition of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, with a prayer around it, or part of a prayer that she says daily. So it's like, I'm ordering it, I'm starting this, and then this, and the new one she's going to release are going to go on the wall. So it is so pretty. I love it. And I am stitching this on 36 count Faith by Tropical Stitches, so appropriate. And I'm using all the called for colors. There's 2 over dyes, the letters are an over dye, and then there's some white somewhere, and then the rest are DMCs. It is so much fun to stitch. It goes really quickly. Love the sawtooth border there with the different colors. Just love it. So I'm working myself in there. You can see there's the little oval. It shows up a little better in person, but oh well. Anyway, so pretty. That oval that goes around the word sacred and the Sacred Heart. So I'm working on that and got this done here. And do sacred and then kind of work my way down to the cross and keep working around. It's really pretty. So I am loving working on that and finish this, and would love to have it framed with the new one that she is coming out with. So that is one of my whips. Here's the beautiful colors. So pretty. So they are DMCs for the most part. They're pretty. Really pretty colors. And then these 2 are the over dyes. There's Chickpea by Weeks and Honeysuckle by Weeks. So kind of a yellowy, creamy color. So pretty. And then that really pretty. I love that red. DMC 22. So pretty. So that is one of my whips. I'm working on that one downstairs. I do have my downstairs chair, which is probably where I spend most of my time stitching, but I also have a chair up here over there when we're doing school, or if I want to stitch up here. So I have another project going up here. So that is one whip. That's the downstairs whip, and this is the upstairs whip. So I started this. I know a lot of you started this with Tara, Sully Stitches. I love watching Tara, and she just does some beautiful work, and she makes me laugh. So much fun. So a lot of you started this with Tara. Was it maybe April 6th or something like that for her birthday? And Tara, you're turning 50 before I do. Mine will be September, so we'll have to do something big for 50 in September. We'll see. Anyway, I had already, I guess, my friend Renee, Prairie Stitcher 515, she and I had talked already, and we were going to start it together on Easter Sunday. Then we backed it up to Holy Thursday. Anyway, we're starting it at about the same time, so we're all working on it together. So we're stitching with you too, Tara. So stop talking. It's called A Daily Reminder. I think everybody and their cat has bought this chart from Market. It was definitely my favorite. Just love it. I think the colors are gonna look beautiful with my Manor at Quaker Hill. Even though I'm doing it on a very different linen, it's gonna be wonderful. I'm gonna use my board for this because this is all I've got done. So I know I'm using all the called for colors, and I am not using the linen that was called for. So I know that it called for Cedar River linen. I think it's called Arboreal. And I didn't order that. I didn't want to order that. I had a piece of some, Dulce de Leche by Fiber NOM, and it was very similar, but just there were a couple of the colors that I felt like weren't gonna show up well on the Dulce de Leche. So I went with one of my favorite linens, and it is actually it's called Zweigart Granite. It's a really dark gray brown. No modeling, just a solid linen. I've done several things on this. I really love it. And here's how everything is looking on it so far. So I started this last Thursday, on Holy Thursday, and I got the roof completely done, all the windows and the door outlined, and now I'm working on the curtains, and then I'll probably work on finishing or filling in the house. But so far I really love it. I think it's gonna be great. I saw also Mrs. Jones Stitches. Holly Jones is working on it as well. She finished hers, and it's super pretty. And of course she, I forget what linen. Hers is a color and cotton linen, I believe. And then she was doing it in all color and cotton flosses. So that looks beautiful. Hers has some more pink tones to it. It was lovely. So she's finished, and I had already contemplated, you know, that I was going to do the alphabet but not the sawtooth satin stitch. So I may leave a border off completely. I think there is a way that I could do a little bit of a border with only X's and still follow the same pattern. But I was watching her video and she just had the alphabet around it, and it looked beautiful without the sawtooth border. So I may do the same. She did do the Smyrnas. She said she would be very happy if she never saw another Smyrna again. I agree, they're not hard, but that's a lot. So we'll see. I'm not sure what Renee is going to do. She's talking about doing no sawtooth and no alphabet. So we'll see, Renee, what you decide. So anyway, that's my other whip, and I'm working on that one up here. So yeah, that is what I've been up to. Oh, here's the colors. Super pretty as well. It's a combination of DMCs and overdyes. Really pretty. This color here, I had to order because I did not have it. It's called Weeks Taupe, and it's kind of hard to see, but it is the one that's the windows and the doors. And yeah, it's not showing up really well here, but it is the prettiest gray, green, aqua kind of. It's lovely. It's really, really pretty. So I think the door gets filled in with DMC 522, so you can kind of see them next to each other. How pretty those are. I don't know, it might look like mud to you, I'm not real sure. So that's my other whip right now. I'm not planning on starting anything else. I'd like to finish both of those. So my plan is to be rather monogamous again and working on these two and getting those finished. All right, so that is my finishes and my whips, and now let me show you some of the things I've either received or ordered. So yeah. A sweet friend sent me 2 of the Anniversaries of the Heart charts that I didn't already have, and so I'm so thankful for that. Thank you. You know who you are. I appreciate it and your sweet note. So one of them is number 6. Happy birthday. That's number 6 in the Anniversaries of the Heart. I love that one. And the other one she sent me is Pumpkin Farm, and that's number 10. So thank you so very much. I will be adding that and working on those hopefully soon. So then let's see, what else have I ordered? I think I haven't shown you these, and I'll run through these really quick because they are not, well, let me do this first. Another friend of mine shared with me her chart from Leela's studio, the Lord's Prayer. She finished hers, and it is gorgeous, and so she sent me this chart that I could work on, so I will enjoy that. And then I think most of these are my market purchases, so I'll just run through these real quick. I don't think I actually showed you these because I didn't have them last time, but they've since come. Oh, this wasn't, well, it was a market purchase, but it didn't get purchased with my other market stuff. I ordered this when I ordered The Sacred by Teresa Kogut. I decided I did need Kogut Garden. That was probably one of my other very favorites. So cute. I want to do it just like this. So cute. I don't think I'll start this year, but this might be top on the chart for spring next year. But you never know. Super cute. I don't think it'd take that long, would it? Oh, such a cute bunny. Okay, that one. So I also got Animal Crackers, Lily. I have a couple of the colors that I didn't already have that are called for, and I'm actually not sure I'm going to do her in pink. I do love the pink, but I've been watching everybody who's doing Maggie May in different colors, and then Renee and I were talking, and I really feel like the I don't know, she's a frog, and frog kind of feels summery, and so maybe she's gonna have a patriotic dress, and I'm just not sure yet. She'll have a patriotic dress and go out in the patriotic display. So I think I'm starting her at the end of May with some friends. So we'll see. I gotta play with that and see what I wanna do. These were my other market purchases. Another super favorite, definitely doing this one this year, Nativity Tiny Town, and make a drum. This one I absolutely love, and I don't know if I'll stitch the whole sampler, so here it is, Stitches Be Sweet. It is lovely. By Jeanette Douglas. I think there's a bunch of specialty stitches. I do love it. I just don't know yet, because I don't know. There is an option on the back to do the small pillow and then the little scissor fob. I don't know. I have to think about that. Or I could do a front and back pillow. Wouldn't that be pretty? This could be on one side, and then this could be on the other side. We'll see. All right, so I ordered that. And there wasn't, my chart did not have a DMC conversion in it, but I found a DMC conversion online. It is out there, so I would probably do mine with DMC. And then, of course, I got gifts of the season from Blackbird Designs. I love the charts in here. So pretty, and such pretty colors. So we've got the big sampler, right? Which is very cool that they took this original sampler. And we've got the chart for that. It's amazing. I love it. But then they took that beautiful sampler and they based another sampler on the big one. It's so pretty. I love the house. The roof is what color? I think the roof is Dove, which is a beautiful color, and then the inside of the house is Colonial Rose. Oh, love that. So that might be on one of my to-do lists. There's a really pretty little pin cushion in here. So really pretty things to stitch. Love that one. And actually this might be the one I stitched something out of first. I got the Sweet Bun Sings. That right there is on the might need to start that soon list. So again, in here there's a gorgeous antique sampler that they used to create the projects that are in here. And there are 3 different projects from this. Is that right? Yes. There's 2 smaller pillows, and then this is the one that I think I'm gonna have to stitch. It's so beautiful. The sweet birds sing, the colors, the design. It's really beautiful. Licorice red, Tennessee red clay. I love Tennessee red clay. Dove again, so pretty. It looked like they stitched this on Heartland. That's really pretty. And then she turns it into this gorgeous little project folder thing. All the layers, the pockets, little sewing roll, I guess. So beautiful. So that is all my stitchy wonderfulness. And then a couple other things I have been ordering. I ordered some really pretty fabric to make some project bags out of, and so hopefully you'll see these in the near future. I ordered some more zippers from my favorite Etsy shop. Great prices, great selection, great zippers. Zip It, I will link that below, but I needed some neutral zippers. I think that's the vanilla color. And then my fourth kiddo, Michael, is getting ready to graduate from high school, and I have made each of them a graduation quilt. I don't know if any of them, well, no, none of them have received it before they went to college. My oldest got his when he came home freshman year for fall break, so that was pretty good. I think my daughter got hers the spring of her freshman year. Andrew got his fall of his sophomore year. And we'll see how long it takes me to get Michael's done. I actually don't think it'll take me that long. So Michael's favorite quilt in the house is this rag quilt that I made. It was probably the first quilt that I completed the whole thing. It was a rag quilt made with homespun wovens. And so yeah, it's a 23-year-old quilt, and it's been loved and washed and used and used and used, and that's Michael's favorite quilt. I have said in the past that I would never make another rag quilt. Well, guess what he wants for his graduation quilt? He wants a rag quilt. So I had to hunt down wovens, the homespun wovens, because they're not as easy to come by. When I made that first one, they were available at my local quilt shop, and they're just not as available. So I thought I'd found a seller on Etsy that I was going to use, and that just didn't quite work out when what I was looking for. So I did find a wonderful website. I will link it below. It's called JubileeFabric.com, and they're in Arkansas, and lovely Christian business scripture all over, which is so lovely. She sent, along with my order, these lovely stickers. It's pretty. You can kind of see down here, JubileeFabrics.com, but I will link it. She sent me a lovely bookmark with scripture on it. How pretty is that? And then here's my grand stack of fabric. So these are all the wovens. Really fun. So he decided that he wanted this was his combination. So the blacks, the browns, the tans, the navies. So we've got, you know, some different, here's one in here, you can't really see that. Here, let me see if I can just hold them up. It's such a nice stack, but here's a tan stripe. This one's really pretty. Navy. This is a navy and tan. A smaller navy and tan. So I bet you any money that they're, like, I think this particular navy is in the quilt I made downstairs. Then this is kind of a dark, kind of mahogany and black or navy, I can't really tell. Another gingham, tan and a dark brown, or you know, a mahogany brown. That small one, it's got black in it. This really pretty dark, that's a brown, it's hard to, with some black striping, I think. And another black with tan in it. A black and tan. And tiny black and tan. A different black and tan. A slightly larger black and tan. And then this is the last one, this really pretty black and tan. So all together, I think it's going to make a fantastic quilt. So I gotta get started. But I did do that. I think that's everything. I think the only thing I have left is to share my books with you and my little bit of crochet. Okay, let's see. Crochet. So I have a pattern for these really cute bags. It comes in like 7 different sizes. Super easy to make these drawstring bags. Love them. I need to make a couple bigger ones because this one's actually outgrowing. It's so I take this normally when I go to my dad's when we sit and watch TV. My dad has Alzheimer's and is in assisted living, and so this is just a simple shawl that I'm making. Still got, I'm gonna add another skein for sure. It's not quite where I want it. So maybe 2 skeins, we'll see. I want it big. So anyway, it's just a really soft yarn. I didn't even know what it was. But I like it, and I sit there and I work on it with my dad. Actually, it's some yarn that I had been using. I had started a blanket in navy and gray, and I had started it when he was maybe a little more aware. So sometimes now he's more talkative, sometimes he's more silent, sometimes you're not sure if he knows who you are. It's kind of sad. And but one day he was more talkative. Maybe the first time I brought this shawl that I was working on it, and I pull it out and I showed him what I was working on, and he said, "Weren't you making a blanket?" I was like, oh my goodness, he remembered. And I said, yeah, Daddy, I was making a blanket and I ripped it all out. Just like my mom did multiple times. So anyway, I work on that. And I do have my granny squares going. I just haven't made any in a little while. So that's easy to take with me and sit. And it's good for the car too, or just something mindless. So books, I read a lot if I'm not stitching or quilting or whatever I'm reading. I cannot end my day unless I have read something, even if it's a page or 2 before bed. So you can follow me on Goodreads. I know that my Goodreads profile is in the drop down box below, so feel free to request to follow me. I love to see what other like-minded people are reading. It's fun. I get some new ideas and you can see what I'm reading. So one book I'm reading right now, maybe I'm a third of the way through. This is an author that my daughter and I really love. Is published by a Christian publisher, so she is Christian. Her name is Jamie Jo Wright. I have read probably 3 or 4 of her books so far, and this one's called The Vanishing at Castle Moreau. And they're really cool because they are kind of spooky and a little bit ghosty, creepy, maybe not too bad, but it always has to deal with, everybody thinks something's happening that cannot be explained other than by ghosts or spirits or something scary happening. Like this one says, a haunting legend, an ominous curse, a search for a secret buried deep within the castle walls. And what's neat about it is you get that kind of element of the story, that little bit of suspense, and yet it all turns out to be perfectly, I want to say normal, but there's real reasons for it, and it's still a very redeeming story because it's ultimately a Christian author. It's really, really, really good. I love her books. So I'm reading that one right now. And then another book I picked up, I think they may have been using this book, if any of you are familiar with the Hallow app. It's a Catholic app with all kinds of stuff on it. And they may have been doing this, or Father Mike may have been talking about, well, I heard Father Mike Schmitz talking about it in his homilies recently. And I wasn't doing whatever was going on over on Hallow. I don't have a subscription right now. And so, but I ordered this book and I really want to read this. So it's called A Song for Nagasaki. And it is the story of Takashi Nagai. He's a scientist, a Catholic convert, and survivor of the atomic bomb. And so the story is really fascinating. I love World War II. I love all things Catholic. Anyway, just looks like a fabulous book. I was starting a few pages this morning, and so far really enjoying it. So I don't watch much TV. I always love to hear Tara Sully Stitches talk about what she's been watching, and I love true crime too. I just it's not my go-to to sit down and watch something. Maybe someday, I don't know, when it's just me and Brian at home, maybe we'll watch more. I have no idea. He and I do like some true crime. We used to like FBI files and forensic files. I like that a lot. But anyway, I don't watch a ton of TV, but I do watch FlossTube. But a lot of times I'm stitching and it's quiet. There's people at home, but it's quiet, or I'm watching a floss tube sometimes, or listening to a book or a talk or something like that. And then probably my go-to when I'm not doing other things is to read. So I do enjoy my reading. So follow me on Goodreads if you want. I'd love to see what you're reading. What else? Oh yeah, I was going to talk about floss tubes. I don't think I talk about it very often, and I'm not real good about keeping up, and I have some that I watch all the time, and I'll go in spurts of wanting to watch FlossTube and not wanting to. It just depends. Sometimes there's still just enough going on around the house that I'm not able to listen or watch something while I'm stitching. So I can be stitching and there's people and things happening, but I can't always watch something. So, you know, I'll have times when I can watch it and times when I can't. So, but I was thinking about my favorites the other day, and ones that I watch when they come out no matter what. So I thought I'd list those here. One's, of course, Brenda and Laura. Brenda and the Cereal Starter. Who doesn't watch them? They make me laugh, and I love watching the different kicks they get on. Brenda, it's been really fun to see you crocheting granny squares, and it was really fun to see you, Laura, excited about English paper piecing. I love doing both of those. So yeah, I'm really glad that you're trying some new things. That was really fun. I love watching of course, Carol's Saltbox Stitcher. Every time she has one, she makes me laugh. Her samplers are gorgeous, and she's just so real, and I love that. I always watch Christy, Crosshatch Quilts. She is a sweetheart, and I love her, and she does such beautiful work. And I always watch Lisa, Kindred Stitcher. She's another one of my very favorites. It's fun to see your house getting built, Lisa. I'm excited to see the finished product. Oh, why can't I think of this? Sean Periwinkle Stitcher, and I just love seeing all the beautiful things that Sean does, and I love listening to Sean. Everything to me is just better with some sort of British accent, so that's a real joy every time she has a video. I love seeing all her embroidery. I wish I won't say I'll never do that. It's just so incredibly gorgeous, and she has such a talent for that. Who else? Nerissa's Quilting Lifestyle. I love watching Nerissa's samplers take shape, just so beautiful. And all that she gets accomplished is just amazing. Who else do I always watch? I have been, oh gosh, I know I'm gonna forget some. Oh, I always watch Kim, Contented Needleworker Kim. She's my sweet friend. So those are ones that I always watch when they come out. And then I love Holly Jones, Mrs. Jones Stitches. I love Hobbies of Holly. Who else? I should have written all these down. Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. There's just so many good ones, and I don't always have time to watch all of them, but they're just wonderful. And everybody puts so much time and effort into these videos, and I'm so thankful for that, and it's just so much fun to watch. Yeah, I just can't imagine, I don't know, what was life like before this? I didn't watch quilting. There wasn't a quilting bunch of YouTubes like this when I was quilting. Anyway, whatever. So fun. So, plans. I'm going to work on a daily reminder, and I'm going to work on Sacred. If the new one from Teresa Kogut comes out anytime soon, I will be buying that and getting a start on it. I need to start on my son's quilt. That is something I need to do. I need to make some project bags. I need to do some finishing and framing. I probably need to clean my house too and do some of that, but that can wait till later. All right. Last but not least, giveaway items. So I did hear from, I guess it was 2 shows ago, from one of the giveaways. I did not hear from the viewer who won the sampler all bouquet, so I'm going to insert that again here. If you're watching, I'm going to give you another opportunity to email me. My email is in the drop down box below. Let me know what you've won and send me your name and address, and I'll get these in the mail to you. But I have not heard from you yet, so if I don't hear from you by the next video, then I will give these away again. So the winner for these was Alright, so email me and let me know that I can send these to you. Okay, so then last time, I think we used the words summer and bird. I think those were the words. And so it was really fun to read your comments. I really enjoyed that. It's feeling more like summer a little more now here, springs. So yeah, it's just where I live. It's the way it happens. Spring is short and summer is long. So, and every other season is short too, so summer is just long. So one of the giveaways from last time was this beautiful crown bird sampler from Plum Street Samplers. So the winner of this chart is congratulations. Email me. My email's in the drop down box, and let me know what you've won and your name and address, and I will get this in the mail to you. And then the other one was another Plum Street Summer Hill, and the winner for this is So let me know if I can get this in the mail to you. I'm glad you won. So today I just have one giveaway. I would like to share my copy of Smith's Sampler from the Scarlet House. So if you are interested in winning this, then use the word Smith. I'm not sure how you're going to work that into a comment. You don't have to. You can just use the word Smith. And then I would love to hear your favorite author, your favorite fiction author. So let me know. Give me some ideas for my reading. But what is your favorite author? And also use the word Smith, and I will send this out. So I think that's all I have for you today. Again, happy Easter, happy spring. I hope you are enjoying some lovely weather where you are. It's been beautiful here. It's gonna get hot, but we'll make it. So hopefully I'll be back in just another couple of weeks, but thanks for being patient. I do like to have lots of things to show you. So until the next time, I pray for you. I pray that you are blessed. I pray for all your needs, and I thank you for coming and spending time with me. So have a great couple of weeks. Take care. Bye.